What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video in the prep series. So we are currently 5 weeks out as of tomorrow, and things are starting to get pretty close now. So training's dialed up, nutrition's dialed up, and we're getting pretty serious. So today is day 2 of my 2-day consecutive refeed. So basically a little bit of a peaking strategy or a mock carb up, just to kind of see how we react to a little bit of extra food, especially now that we're so deep in the prep and we're so close to the weight cap. So literally 2 kilos away from my weight cap as it is, and even after the refeed day we're still pretty much exactly the same, so body weight hasn't changed at all. So today I'm going to run you guys through a full day of eating. So this is my refeed calorie days, are at about 3,000 or just over 3,000 calories, so definitely nice to have some extra carbs in there. I'll take you through our back and hamstring workout, and then I've got a little posing session later, so that'll be fun. We're going to be working on my routine, just working on some basic transitions, and just putting together, I guess, my overall stage package for the shows to come up. So stay tuned, we'll see you guys soon. All right, so it's just after 5:30 a.m. We've been up for about an hour now because we're crazy and wake up early. But this is my meal 1. It's literally been my stock standard meal this whole prep. So literally egg white omelet, a little bit of mushrooms, a little bit of spinach, and some English muffins. So like super satiating, super high in protein, relatively low in carbs. And basically all I've done for this carb up or refeed day is just added an extra English muffin. So I think that's the trap a lot of people fall into, is like when they have refeeds or, you know, higher carb days, they get a little bit overzealous, they get a bit crazy, and they start adding in foods that they generally wouldn't eat anyway, which can lead to some issues, I think, in terms of like digestive health and just bloating and gassiness, and even like lethargy, tiredness, poor gym performance, introducing weird foods that you might not be able to digest properly and that you're not used to. So for me, it's literally like everything stays the same, we just increase the quantity. So like those high days is literally add an extra muffin, add some more rice, keep things as simple as possible, reduce as many variables as possible so that we can predict the outcome moving forward. All right, we're in the gym this morning. It's my last workout of the week. I've got hamstrings and back. So starting off with some hamstring isolation work first, and then we're going to move into some more hinging, with some RDLs, and then some more back work just to finish off. Back frequency, a little bit extra volume for back this week. But one thing I do want to note, and something I've talked about quite recently on Instagram, was utilizing top sets and back down sets. So the deeper we get into this prep, we're going to prioritize recovery a lot more. Just sort of having 1 to 2 heavy top sets with some lighter back down sets allow us to kind of manage fatigue a little bit better during these workouts, so we don't build that recovery debt too much and run ourselves into the ground. So 1 top set here, 8 to 10 reps, and then 2 back down sets, 10 to 15 reps, a little bit lighter weight, a little bit more of a pump when we get to attack a couple of different pathways when it comes to hypertrophy, more sort of heavy mechanical tension and more metabolic stimulus and more pump work afterwards. Right, so exercise number 2 we had in this workout, seated hamstring curl. So I think an often overlooked consideration when it comes to training the hamstrings in particular, is training both in the lengthened and shortened position. So with the seated leg curl, because we're in a hinged or seated position, we do tend to get a little bit more lengthened position throughout that range of motion, where the lying leg curl, because we're flat out stretched on our belly, hips are slightly bent, we do get more of that shortened position at the top. So it does get a little bit harder at the top of the movement, where this does get a little bit harder more in that lengthened range. So it's something to think about when you are programming for hamstrings, whether you do it in the same session, whether you do it across the week and have different variations. You do want to have some seated or some lying leg curl variations in there. so to finish off the hamstring portion of this workout before we move on to back, we had our heavy hinges. So just one working set, barbell RDLs, just to really finish off the hamstrings. And basically the reason I like doing it right at the end is we get a lot of really like high stimulus stuff done first with the isolation movement. So the hamstrings are fatigued, they get a lot of blood. So when we move on to like our heavy hinges, the limiting factor is the hamstring. So we know that the hamstring is getting all of the work, and it does reduce the overall load that you can use, which is another positive tick for fatigue management, especially the deeper we get into this diet, and also injury management. The closer we get to the contest, we want to stay injury free.
Alright, so we just got done with the workout, hamstrings and pull done. I didn't really talk through the back stuff, it was pretty straightforward. So we had some chest supported rows, just a couple of work sets there, 8 to 12 reps. We had some standing cable pullovers, 3 working sets there, 10 to 15, and 3 working sets of seated face pulls. So some just simple isolation stuff to kind of round out the back for the week, a little bit of extra volume that we sort of tack on towards the end of the week and to increase the overall frequency as well. But about to rip in a meal too. So just literally some protein oats. Doesn't look very appetizing. It's been sitting in my bag while we trained. So I'll rip into this, and then we've got posing with Charlie in about 20 minutes. So let this digest, rest a little bit, catch my breath, and then I'll show you guys some posing. So we'll have some fun putting together this routine and show you how it looks.